That's what he was hearing.
Saying that she just told me very briefly. I went to the bathroom. The kids were watching TV. I went to the bathroom. By the time I was done going to the bathroom, I started washing my hands, and my daughter started saying, "Baby, baby, baby," and I ran out of the bathroom and found that her hair's wet. She was taking a shower.
Yeah. Bathroom, and the door was open. He went down the lake.
Went down the lake?
The lawn goes right down.
Oh, back there?
Yeah.
Okay. How old's the baby?
22 months.
Okay. Which apartment you guys in?
108.
On a warm morning of April 10th, 2024, in a quiet apartment complex in Florida, tragedy struck when a 911 call was made, reporting that a toddler had been found unresponsive near a lake behind the building. The boy, just 22 months old, had wandered out of his apartment and into the water, while his mother had been inside the home. By the time emergency responders arrived, the situation was already critical. Paramedics were the first on the scene, rushing to the lakeside, where the child had been pulled from the water. They immediately began performing CPR, their focus solely on reviving the toddler. His small body was lifeless, and the urgency in their movements made it clear that time was running out. The apartment complex, usually quiet, became a scene of confusion as neighbours gathered outside, trying to make sense of what had happened. One of the residents had spotted the child floating in the water and had frantically called for help. The boy's mother, wet from what she claimed was a hurried shower, stood in shock nearby, attempting to explain how she hadn't noticed her son leave the apartment.
Says that she left the door open and she was showering.
Okay. I will make sure he stays as well.
The officers who arrived on the scene quickly assessed the situation. The apartment's sliding door, which opened onto a lawn that sloped down to the lake, had been left ajar. It seemed that the child had wandered outside unnoticed, while his mother was occupied inside. The layout of the apartment complex made it easy for anyone to access the lake, and the lack of fencing or barriers around the water only made the situation more dangerous. As the paramedics worked to stabilise the child, who was still unresponsive, officers started to piece together what had led to this tragedy. According to initial reports, the mother had been inside the apartment with her son. She said that she had left him watching television while she took a shower. In the brief time she'd been in the bathroom, she hadn't heard any noise that would indicate the boy had left the living room.
Man, what apartment do you live in?
108.
108?
Yes, sir.
108.
Charlie 7 to the 340 units. Do you want us to head to the hospital? Do you want us to go straight to the scene? There's already some officers there.
If you have a rookie, come here to the scene first.
There's somebody already.
Was the back slider open?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any family that's in the area? Are they on their way coming? Daddy's coming?
Yeah, 45
Delta 10194.
Are you sure he's dead?
Nope, they're bringing him right no, they're bringing him to St. Mary's. Mobile crisis available.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want me? I live right next to you.
Yeah, you'll be there shortly.
Okay. What's your name? Anastasia. All right.
We're getting the ball rolling for all that.
308.
I found a window for you.
All right, come on. Let's get you some shoes.
Over.
I always have the window, the slider open because
Temper correction. Window free. Are you
God, I'm bad.
Temper, no vehicles and no answer at the door. With the sergeant, can we ping the phone, please, for the 32? Chris.
That was 32, correct?
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you got a second, I can call you.
Not really, as long as you have something that's viable, then go ahead, what's going on?
Thank you.
Delta 1 spot. Put in the notes 161, the siblings room in 308 apartment. Yes, ma'am. If you have some, yes, water.
Apartment 308, 1047 nurse.
So, walk through your routine this morning.
At 7 o'clock, 7:15, with a young boy in my bed, we sleep together. She wakes up at around 8:30. Everything is fine. Their living room, their toys are there. The TV
So
is
you have a
there.
boy and you have a girl, correct? Okay.
Delta 3 back. Can you copy a tag also, please?
10%.
Hotel Kilo Foxtrot 25, Black BMW.
In the bathroom. There's a bathroom. I've got a living room with a border, so what's in mine in the bedroom. I come back, she says, baby. I said, where's the baby? I see the sign is open. I look down, and he's not there. And I look further during the... I just see him floating. I just ran in together. I don't care if there's a gate or anything. I just ran in together. His lips were blue already. I don't know what to do. His lips were blue already. I can even get the picture out of my head.
Now, your boy, how old is he?
22 months.
22 months, okay.
20 months.
So he walks fairly well.
However, several aspects of her story raised concerns for the officers on scene. The door to the outside had been left wide open, and there was no clear explanation for why it had been left unlocked or unattended. The mother's wet hair and panicked demeanour were signs that she had, indeed, just finished showering, but there was still an uncomfortable amount of time that seemed unaccounted for in her timeline of events. How long had the child been outside before anyone noticed? In the days following the incident, the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the boy's drowning intensified. Detectives interviewed the mother, neighbours, and anyone who had been in or around the apartment complex that morning. The mother's statement, while seemingly straightforward, left some gaps that investigators found troubling. She had mentioned that she had smoked marijuana an hour before the incident, though she maintained that she had been lucid and aware enough to care for her child. Forensic teams examined the apartment, searching for any signs of neglect or foul play. They found nothing that immediately suggested intentional harm, but the investigation quickly shifted focus to whether the mother's actions or inaction had led to the tragic event. As the weeks passed, more details emerged about the family situation. Neighbours mentioned that the mother had often been overwhelmed by the demands of raising a young child on her own, and she had confided in others that she had been struggling with the responsibilities of motherhood. Detectives began to piece together a picture of a young woman under stress, possibly distracted or inattentive at the time of the incident.
So when we were sitting over there and I was consoling her and I was talking to her, she was telling me how she was afraid that she was going to go to jail. And I said, well, why would you go to jail with the mom? I said, why would you go to jail? You didn't do anything. It was an accident. And she says she had like priors of battery or hitting or touching. And I said, with kids? And she said, no, not with kids. And I'm like, okay, so why would you go to jail? The boyfriend calls. She was like hysterically crying, right? The boyfriend calls. Stops. Like, you see how like I'm talking to you? Stops. And she was like, oh, hey. He was pissed, like, on the phone. He was like, I'm not even going to be mad at you right now because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me. She's like, I'm sorry, like, I love you, like, normal. Normal. It stopped. I was shocked, too. It stopped. And she said, I love you. He wouldn't say that he loved her. She hung up. Started, like, sobbing and, like, crying again. She was like, can we pray? I said, yeah, like, we can pray. Like, it's okay. It was an accident. We prayed. She goes, I think, to talk to the detective, comes back and sit down here. And the crime scene people, they were taking pictures. I look behind, like, they snapped a picture of us sitting right there. I'm just like back to her. She does like this. Her hair is all crazy. She goes, okay. I swear to God.
She's like fixing herself up
Yeah,
for
like
the
she's
media.
like, okay. I'm just thinking like, oh my God. Did I just pray for somebody that potentially, I don't like to speak things like that, but I know the world that we live in, that...
But did she say anything that would indicate that she left the child alone and she did something intentionally?
Well, she said that being a mom is like hard. Like she's stressed out, like it's just like super hard.
Okay.
And so I was like, yeah, being a mom is hard. Like, it's no manual, I'm just consoling her. And she's just like, I'm gonna go to jail. And I'm like, why do you keep saying that you're gonna go to jail? For, because it's like child abuse or neglect. I said, but you said he wasn't out there for more than like 15, maybe like 5 minutes or maybe. She's like, yeah, but I don't know. So I'm just like, okay, well, just calm down. All that matters is that the baby is okay. Boyfriend or husband or whatever called, said baby had a pulse. Like he has a pulse, she was crying, I was consoling her, but it was just kind of odd, like that, like she was really concerned about like going to jail. And I'm just like, well, why would you be concerned about going to jail if this was indeed an accident? I came out before I came to talk to you. One of my neighbors said I think I told you that, said that she was sleeping or something or whatever. Whatnot. And I'm like, well, I don't know, because she didn't say that to me that she was sleeping. She literally said she was up, gave the kids snacks, right? Went to the bathroom, right? Went to the bathroom, like about to wash her hands. Kid comes, like, oh, baby, mommy. She said she goes out there, right? Sees the baby face down. She says she gets down all the way in the water, grabs the baby out of the water, tries to perform the CPR. It's not working. She's too hysterical, so then she calls. Right? But just like, as I'm thinking about it now, like, like how some things just like come up in your hand, I'm like, oh, that's odd. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be thinking, I'm going to, I would be concerned if my kid was okay. And it's just, I'm like, okay, well, you got down in the lake to get your baby out, right? I think like you'd be soaked like head to toe. That's a man-made pond, okay? Mm-hmm. That's deep. You get what I'm saying? She was dry. And if your baby is floating, wouldn't you just have to like, I don't know. But I was driving and I was like, okay, well, that came in my head. So I'm like, oh, I didn't, because I was sitting there with her for so long, but I just didn't think that would be something that you would be thinking. Like your kid is possibly dead. Thinking about going to jail, It was just very odd, like just like the switch. If I'm crying, I'm who am I, right? But if I'm crying, I'm hysterical. I probably can't even get a word out. I need somebody else to cry for me, right? But I'm literally telling you, the switch was like scary. Like, like if I'm crying and I'm hysterical and like somebody has to hold me up, I'm hysterical, a stranger even takes my kid. And then as soon as like, oh, hey, is he okay? Oh yeah, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. The dad is like, I can't even be mad at you right now because I'm trying to focus on like if he's okay. And she's like, well, I love you. And just hang up and start crying again. So,
well, listen, I'm just the detective might want to follow up with you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
All right.
Like I said, sir, I'm a woman of God. I have a child. I have a family. I felt heavy leaving because I remembered it and I'm like, oh, that may be a point. I don't know, but it was just kind of odd. A little strange.
Okay. I'll let them know and they're probably going to contact you.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Okay.
4 months after the drowning, the case took a significant turn. Investigators, having completed their thorough review of the events, decided to file charges. The mother was arrested on suspicion of child neglect causing great bodily harm, a serious charge that could carry severe legal consequences. Officers returned to the apartment complex, this time to take her into custody. The arrest was uneventful, but the weight of the charges hung heavily over the once quiet community.
Lines are open. I didn't see anybody. Hello, Francesca.
Hi, sir.
I need you to step out here.
Yes, sir.
Turn around, place your hands behind the back, you're under arrest.
What?
I'll explain it to you in just a second. Are you alone? What's that? This, are you home alone? Is there any, like, little ones inside that we gotta arrange for or anything like that? Just you? Okay. Kids are, one's at the hospital, one's in the care sick, right? So you're under arrest for that incident that happened with your kid. I guess they got charges on you. We're not the investigating, we're the guys that they say, go find her, we have charges, okay? So you're being charged with child neglect that caused great bodily harm, okay? Do you have any property you want to bring with you, a cell phone? Do you want to lock your apartment?
Yeah, my cell phone, please.
Okay, where's your cell phone at?
In my bedroom in the bathroom.
Well, let's go over. Hey, we're gonna, I'm gonna take her in there to get her cell phone and get her keys so we can lock up. Just hang out over here because it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be exactly. I'm gonna go grab the paperwork. If you wanna hold that for a second.
You only have like 22% battery. You want me to like shut it off so it doesn't die? I don't have an iPhone. How do you turn it off?
You just hold the side button there and the
This
top one there too.
Like that?
Yeah,
And then slide it?
yeah.
Were you at work or something?
I was just coming back from orientation.
Hey, you got a job? Did you get a job?
My Coupa.
Is that a golf? That's like a golf course, right? Nice. This one start there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah? When did you like start?
Today was my first day of orientation.
Oh, okay. You still haven't gone through the schedule yet?
No, I'm not gonna be okay.
You'll be okay. We'll be able to bond out. You're family, right? No, like, major criminal past or anything like that? You'll get a bond, you'll bond out, you'll get a court date. You're alright. No worries. Just keep your head up. Is the car locked or anything? Got your husband feeling there too or not? Do you work?
I'm supposed to pick him up and then go pick up my daughter.
Just take him up?
I'm supposed to pick him up from work and go pick up my daughter,
Yeah,
which I
what-
was finally able to do.
What time, so he's gonna be expecting you, right? Do you know his phone number?
Yeah,
So I'll just call him, I guess. What time are you supposed to pick him up?
5 o'clock.
Oh, so you got time.
You guys are waiting for me?
I'm sorry?
You're waiting for me?
Yeah, you were home, so trying to keep it low key as possible, not try to make a big scene with the neighbors. So she's supposed to pick up, well, was supposed to pick up her husband from work at like 5, and she's not gonna make it. So can we call him just so we can tell him what's going on so we can make other arrangements?
Yeah. Anything on you that I need to know about? Like,
No, sir.
I don't know you, so no drugs,
No, sir.
nothing.
We're just gonna send him with her. The house is locked up, the car's locked up.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you have anything on you, that they're gonna find it at county.
No, sir, don't have it.
I mean, he doesn't get out till 5. He's got 3 hours to find a ride. I mean, yeah, there's a smart dude to figure it out.
The investigation had revealed a pattern of neglect that may not have been apparent at first glance. Despite the mother's initial claims that the incident was a tragic accident, the evidence suggested that she had left the door open and the child unattended for longer than she admitted. Furthermore, her use of marijuana shortly before the event added another layer of complexity to the case, raising questions about her ability to properly supervise her son. Medical experts who examined the child at the hospital confirmed the worst fears. The boy would suffer permanent brain damage as a result of the drowning. His future would be one of medical care and rehabilitation, and he would never fully recover from the incident. As the case moved toward trial, prosecutors prepared to argue that the mother's negligence was directly responsible for the child's injuries. The defense would likely point to her lack of intent and argue that it was a tragic accident, but the law was clear. Neglect resulting in severe bodily harm carried significant penalties. The community remained divided on the issue. Some felt sympathy for the mother, believing that she had made a terrible mistake, but was not a criminal. Others argued that she should be held fully accountable for her actions, as the consequences for her child were irreversible. As the legal process unfolded, the boy's fate was sealed, but the question of justice remained. The court would determine what punishment, if any, the mother should face, and society would grapple with the complexities of responsibility and accountability in such a tragic case.